Hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you are lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka, I'm Blitz, coming to you behind the big band. Loving it. I'm going to be driving the LTTB today because this is a day where Bushka takes a little bit of time for himself. I've been driving a lot of tanks lately, doing a lot of reviews, filling out the lower tiers with stuff that's more of a resource for newer players and people that are looking to start grinding up new lines, doing the T18, the Panzer B2, the Looks, tanks like that, and also throwing in the odd higher tier tank like the Tier 8 AT15 we did recently as well. But I also decided I'd have a little bit of fun. Not that I don't find driving those tanks fun, it's just not as much fun as doing what I love doing best, which is driving bloody quick tanks, bloody quick with good mates. Namely, in this case, Aegon V for the most part, although I did have a couple of games on my own, which you'll see here. I'm going to be driving the LTTB for the purposes of this exercise, and we're just going to talk through gameplay and general things. I wanted to speak to a couple of different things first. This is obviously a patron-sponsored post. Patron is a huge part of my life. We've just built new forums for patrons. We've got the calendar up there for the EU events, the NA events, the Asia events. We've got the Discord channel, the Telegram chat channel. There's heaps of stuff going on. So if you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the channel, do click on the link there and you'll see that. Also, I said recently in a video that I wasn't going to be accepting any more PC replays, and I had a lot of feedback from the PC playing community on that. I'm not here to speak to whether or not PC is an advantage. That's not the reason that I wasn't going to be doing any more PC replays. It was basically because most of the player base is driving on a mobile, and they have talked to me in the past about how they have a hard time relating to the PC content. But I had a good whole look at it basically and realized that I'm doing content 6 days a week. Surely I can squeeze user replays in there that are PC on the 6th day, and if I have to extend it through to a 7th day, I certainly will. And when time allows and I have the opportunity, I will be I'll be doing commentary over replays on the Saturday and the Sunday. So I'm not going to do just PC, I'm not going to do just mobile, I'm going to blend them in together, and you guys can vote with your feet. You can watch the mobile parts of it, you can watch the PC parts of it, you can watch neither. But I mean, there has to be some kind of a modicum of compromise in this whole thing, so I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to basically allow you to pick and choose your own content. Monday to Friday, the videos I do are all going to be done on top of a mobile device because that's how I play. It's neither here nor there. Saturday, Sunday, if you've got a replay and I think it's worthy enough, you can throw it in there on a PC or a mobile. Bear in mind, I've had about 30 replays come in since I released the weekend replay. So that's the bushkawonking@gmail.com email address. If I don't get to your replay, it will not be because I don't love you and I don't hold you in high regard and cherish your every thought and movement upon this earth. It is simply that, man, there's a lot of really good replays coming in. So keep it up, guys, and we'll be doing more of that content. Hopefully, I can possibly roll some of that content into some of my videos where I'm talking to tactics and things as well. So let's get on with the LTTB. Why do I love this tank? Well, it's got everything I really enjoy in the game in it. I think the progression through heavy tanks and TDs and on into lights and mediums and then lights is a very natural thing. As you become better at the game and as you become a more potent weapon for your team, where you see the map a lot better, where you make better decisions, having a tank that's faster and allows you to take advantage of those decisions and the experience that you have is quite often a real benefit to the team. And the LTTB and tanks like it allow you to do that. It's a pretty sturdy tank for a light tank. It feels far more like a strong medium than it does a light. But it has that thing that makes light tanks really stand out, which is the ability to constantly be unspotted and have good camo despite the fact that you're going 70 kilometers an hour. Because light tank camouflage, I've repeated it ad nauseum, but I'm going to do it again, is as good at 70 kilometers an hour as it is completely stationary. Most tanks, you have to set your camo by not moving, and then your camo sets, and then you are very hard to see. Light tanks can do that without stopping at all, and that makes for a very, very interesting game dynamic. And you can see here just how far I'm going to move and how quickly I'm going to do it. The flankers crumbled. Aegon has been overrun by the Horde. Most of the red team have gone over here to my left. And I'm just going to try and keep these guys constantly spotted up, get shots, and then roll back into the low parts of the dune where they can't see me. And you can see when I move away, I'm going to try and get shots again, and then keep rolling into the low part of the dune. I hit, but unfortunately I also took one in return, and I did not manage to pen. And now I'm moving up here. Now I use the second gun on the LTTB. There's a reason for that. It's because the second gun has more gun depression. And I find gun depression on a light tank to be a superb weapon. Do you see how I also angled the upper glacis there on that thing? So that when the Panther hit me, he hit a very, very steep angled piece of armor. And look at this thing. I mean, it's so mobile. It's so quick when you're not running into buildings and being a general tard like I am here. We have that one SU left in the spawn. I'm going to go around here. Their LTTB has pushed up to me across. I'm going to hit him on the move and then roll down and do him like one of my French girls. For those of you who don't get that pop reference, it's because I'm as old as the sea. And oh my God, do I really have to talk about why? Watch the movie As Good As It Gets with Jack Nicholson in it, and you'll see exactly what I mean. So I've moved all the way around here. I've nutted these two blokes in the flank. I'm just using the mobility of the tank again. I'm going to drive right down here, get my speed up, and then turn hard through and across behind the T-29 and basically circle of death this poor old VK where he's sitting. Again, hitting him on the move, getting to the big flat sides of the tank. And I've got gun depression too, so it doesn't matter when you go over bumps and things. You can quite comfortably go around and cover off on that kind of stuff. It's a really good tank for running around in desert fights like this and just brawling and generally being a pest. And I find it to be exceptionally good too for games where you have to run supremacy. I'm going to show you a little game here, or part of a little game. I'm on the outskirts here. I've looked at the teams and you can see they've got all these medium tanks and lights and tank destroyers. And I'm calling we're going to go to town. Now, one of the things you always want to look for at the start of a supremacy game is the synergy caps. Most maps have two caps that can be covered from one or the other together at the same time. In the case of this, you've got A and B. And the C cap is generally out on the flank. The cap that can't be covered is generally out on the flank with the mediums and the lights. Gives them the opportunity to move and take a quick cap and then try and move and contest the middle cap. What I've seen here is that they have an awful lot of mediums and lights. So I'm going to push up like, you know, bat out of hell and push really hard, and this guy's isolated himself at the back. All I want to do is spot, see if there's anyone there. I'm resetting camo right now, and then I'm going to roll across here before he gets a chance to get a shot at me because he's moved down, and just keep that good line of speed going and wait again. You see how I'm always looking around the map. I'm constantly looking to see where targets are and waiting for this guy to shoot, and then I want to get a track. And I've missed a track, but that's the right idea. You know, you always want to keep them immobile by killing their tracks. Someone else has tracked him, which is great because that would be Aegon V, who is running with me. So we've now got two caps in a supremacy game. We are gaining caps at a much higher rate than the other team, and we don't have to push out into the desert because we have all the caps and they have to come and get them. And that's the end of the game, really. After this, it's all just about running around and doing fancy stuff going really, really fast. World of Tanks Blitz is, in its essence, a meat and potatoes game. It's also a game where you really want to use your advantages. And if you're running supremacy and you're running it in a really big, heavy tank, like a T95 or an AT15 or something that doesn't go very quick, then you can be really caught out on the wrong foot and actually, through no fault of your own, end up in a situation where you just get capped out and no one's silly enough to come in front of your guns. You'll also see there I'm going all the way to the corner. The reason I did that was because I was trying to stay as far away as possible from those guys who are shooting into the B cap area so I could maintain camo, but it didn't matter. There was someone there already. I'm going to pop over here because I know there's a Helsing there who can play, and that's exactly who I want to shoot because the Helsing's a tough tank, and I know if I get rid of him, I'm in for a good fun time. I'm going to show you one more game now. That last one just went nowhere from there. I think I got swamped and we won another cap. This is Port Bay. I love driving the LTTB. I absolutely love it. It is so quick. It is one of my very favorite tanks in the game. I'm going to show you a lot like that last game you saw where I went to the very edge of the map. I'm going to go right to the edge of the map here, and it's something I've started doing a little bit on occasion, depending on the enemy, how many mediums and lights they have. I'm going all the way to the zone line. Now, if you're in a light tank, your camo is exceptional, and what that means is you can actually get all the way across here to the zone line quite often without being spotted by mediums that are coming across from the other direction, which is a big surprise for them when they get up here. And you can see as this Pershing is actually just rolling along. Obviously, frontally, this tank is not the be-all and end-all. It's good for a light, but it's certainly not like a T-29's turret or something. And you can see even when you're hitting that fellow there, you are still not able to comfortably pen him at all times. I do get one in the corner, but one of the most commonly hurt humans in my stable is the gunner on the LTTB. He seems to take a wallop all the time. Moving very quickly now, Aegon is pushed up there on the bottom. He's going to move around so he can't be hit from the side. There is a T-54 Proto, which is really a big, tough tank. You saw how red that was, that little tomato. I had to switch to APCR. And then there we've got an IS-6 who's trying to push up. Aegon has changed up to the SU-1 and 22. And he's doing just grand there. He's in the T-25 before. And we are pumping this IS-6. We're going to switch targets in a sec, but we just want to get rid of this IS-6 first. He's a big dog. He's a tier 8, and they're really gangbanging on Aegon here. And I'm using that and the mobility of this wonderful little number here, the LTTB, to actually do the business on both these guys. Aegon doing a superb job there of tanking the damage. Now you can see how hard it is to pen an IS-3. Really, really tough tank, and as it should be. I'm in a tier 7 light. He is a tier 8 heavy. If he wasn't hard to pen, the game would be broken. So what I'm going to do, instead of just sitting there and blowing all my premium ammo, because I've already done a lot of premo firing on that 54 Proto and the IS-6, is change up and flank, because these are much, much softer targets. The Dracula is a fantastic tank. It's very, very quick, but DPM-wise, it doesn't scare the pants off me. And gun handling-wise, likewise, it doesn't scare the pants off me. And armor-wise, it certainly doesn't scare the pants off me. I've got much better armor on the LTTB than the Dracula has. You can see here, we're angling, we're dangling. We're going to now try and just do a little bit of dance with this Drac. And a Helsing's going to pop on our left. We're pulling back to stop the Drac from getting a shot. Going to hit him on the way through, go straight past him. Give him another little touch-up and roll through to the Helsing. And we're going to take one here. We're just trying to get away with enough hit points to COD him, which we do. And then we're around. We hit him on the track. Again, always tracking shots. Always tracking shots. It is the key to doing well in a medium and a light tank. The amount of times you will save your life by hitting a tracking shot is just beyond measure. Always doing it. And you can see there why I absolutely adore my little Soviet light heavy tank that goes 70 kilometers an hour. Nearly 3,000 damage, 1100 XP, just a first class, a couple of little odds and sods badges. But that's what I like to do. That's how I like to play. I like to play very, very quickly. I like to play in very, very quick tanks. And while that is fantastically fun to do, it also doesn't speak to everyone in the world, so I have to do a lot of other videos, and I do enjoy doing them too. And every tank has its positives and its negatives. And the LTTB, when you're running that second gun with the 8 degrees of gun depression, I think is absolutely fantastic as a tank. It's too strong. Like, it is too strong. Let's be honest with each other here. We're men and women, and let us talk as grown-up men and women. It is a tank that is too strong for the game right now, and it probably needs a nerf, and they're going to attempt to do that. We're going to wait and see how the numbers come out on the LTTB, how it all works out in the final patch notes, and what guns copper flogging and all that kind of thing, because it's going to be pretty important. Anyway, there's lots and lots more coming down the track. We've got an E25 video coming to you today. I'm going to do that today or tomorrow, actually. Then I've got a couple of other videos. There's a TOG 2 somewhere down the track, VK4502, VK3601, T82, the AT2. I want to do a video on Supremacy, specifically for people that like driving that, because I tell you what, I really enjoy driving Supremacy. It is a whole different tactical world to the normal encounter battles, and I appreciate that. I think the mode is just Jim Dandy. I'm going to be doing a podcast with JC Ware, hopefully Ezekimo, guys who've driven actual tanks in the world. Ezekimo, I think, drove Leopards. JC Ware drove all kinds of stuff forever and has been in all kinds of conflicts and things, and I'm really looking forward to having a chat with them. That will be out shortly. I'm doing the hashtag Bushka. For those of you who sent in tweets, my Twitter address is @Bushka on Blitz. Those of you who tweeted at Bushka on Blitz, fantastic. I've done a podcast with those. Keep them coming. Hashtag Bushka is the podcast tweet. You tweet at that, hashtag Bushka, with either a statement of fact, a question, or some kind of nonsense, and we'll try and include it in the podcast and give you a shout out on the podcast itself. That will be the tweet army, the Blitz tweet army, Bushka on Blitz tweet army. Rock on, humans. Love you all. Look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield.